Good day, everyone. I am Ranalyn Di Tabernilla, and I am here to introduce Chapter 16, which is all about the representations of women in the arts and media. Before we start, let me present our learning objectives. At the end of this chapter, the student should be able to explain the classical representations and self-perceptions of women in the arts. The second one, state the influence of mass media in shaping the current objectifications of women. And lastly, to identify how women's body are being used in the arts and media. To start our discussion, my group member Ash will be the one that will discuss the three topics, which are the women in the Western art, the beginning of female objectification, women in advertising, and women in film and the film industry.
Hi everyone, my name is Harold Messina from BSHM 2A, and I'm going to discuss women in advertising field. Let's proceed to the introductions. The insight about the display of a female nude is true not only for arts, but for every medium where women are displayed. Women are often presented as sex object in advertisement, even for a products that can be nothing to do with their sexualities or their bodies. Cars, alcoholic drinks, beverage, cigarettes, vacation spots, and sport features women in some degree of undress. Why should it matter that a woman in two-piece bathing suit is selling a car? Or a woman in tight-fitting low-cut dress is selling a whiskey? Why should a mostly naked female be announcing at the rounds of a fight? These images are designed to sell the product to men with a message that women can be attained using this product, or women are accompanying pleasure to drinking or vacationing or watching two men fight in a match. In mostly advertisement, women are just accessories. Now, let's talk about how gender represent in advertisement. Well, men on the whole have been illustrated as strong, intelligent, and hardworking, but we can say the same for women. In today's world, women are more often than not empowered by the media. However, this wasn't always the case. So, what was the role of women in advertisement? Not so long ago, sexy ads encouraged women to be two things: a man's maid and accessories. Even after they helped keep the world running during World War One and Two, women were still regarded as passive and inferior. And what percent of advertising is targeted at women? According to a 2009 study by the Economic Times, 58 of the contemporary advert target women versus the 38% of the target both gender. And lastly, let's talk about how the portrayal of women in advertising and the media. Media and advertising reflects the social norms of our society, and at the same time, have ability to influence other perception through how things are portrayed. Looking back at advertising in the 60s and 50s, women were typically represented as mothers and wives, taking care of their families and husbands. Fast forward to the 70s and 80s, the depiction of woman roles has much more diverse, but they were often portrayed as sex symbols or through unrealistic presentation of perfection, a trend that continued well into the 90s. In more recent times, as the privilege of female leaders in governments, politics, athletics, and Fortune 500 companies that increase, we have we have seen a shift in our social norms. Despite this, many feels that advertising still keeps men and women in their traditional gender roles. The controversy that was caused by the social media ads issued by the UK government as the part of their COVID-19 comms that depicted women cleaning, ironing, and homeschooling while a man relaxed on a couch is just one of many examples. So, there is much progress to be made of the way women are portrayed in advertising and the media. Brands are have responsibility to represent women in a responsible and accurate manner to promote their gender equality. And that is for my part. Thank you for listening. I hope you understand my topic. Together, let's spread love and promote equality gender society. Thank you.
Once again, hello everyone, and to continue our discussion in chapter 16 that is all about the representations of women in the arts and media. Now, we will discuss about what is women and sexualization. Fundamentally, women in films and advertisings are highly sexualized and reduced to their bodies. In the study of American Psychological Association writes, after study, findings have indicated that women more often than men are portrayed in a sexual manner. Examples: dress in revealing clothes with bodily posture or expression that imply sexual readiness, uses as a decorative object or as a body parts rather than a whole person. In addition, a narrow of femininity presented for young girls to study and emulate. The body becomes a woman's basis of self-worth. We all know that our body is one of the most amazing and essential thing that we should protect and value. Let's talk what is media and how it is used. What is media? Media has a way of defining the way a person perceives reality and oneself. Media promotes the notions that girls should be concerned about their appearance and should treat their bodies as sexual objects for others' consumptions. Also, media messages teach girls that looking sexy is often preferred or expected, and it is equated with popularity and romantic success. One of the consequences of sexualizations of women in media is self-objectification. Self-objectification is viewing oneself as an object whose internal appearance matters more than internal qualities. So what is sexualization? Sexualization is the act of placing value on a person's appearance and sexual appeal above all other characteristics. In so doing, the persons become an object for other sexual use rather than being seen as an individual with the capacity for independent agency. According to the report of American Psychological Association, sexualizations occur when a person's value comes only from his or her sexual appeal or behaviors to the exclusions of other characteristics. A person is held to a standard that equates physical attractiveness with being sexy. A person is sexually objectified, made into a thing for other sexual use, rather than seen as a person with the capacity for independent actions and decision making. Sexually is inappropriately imposed upon a person. Based on the definition of sexualization, they came up with these findings. Cognitively, self-objectification has been shown to detract from the ability to concentrate and focus on one's attention, thus leading to impaired performances. The sexualizations of women in media and their objectifications have negative effect on women, including diminished academic performance, lowered body esteem, increased anxiety, lowered confidence in math ability, body shame, and depressive symptoms. Not only that, the impossible standards for women, consciously or unconsciously set, perpetuate wealth accumulations and westernization. To continue our discussion, we will discuss how beauty being used as a weapon against women. Beauty as a weapon against women. Women themselves have become instruments of their oppressions when they are given a chance to create media content. Female models, designers, and editors of beauty magazines perpetuate the idea of women as objects that possess certain, often unattainable standards. The oppressions of women through the disvaluations of looked-at-ness is an international industry that is almost impossible to avoid. This work by Noemi Wolf, The Beauty Myth, How Images of Beauty Are Used Against Women, outlined the impositions of beauty on women. She introduced or the existence of one universal beauty ideal that all women should strive to achieve. According to Wolf, these standards of beauty were created by the dominant capitalist society in order to prevent women from becoming genuinely free. For Wolf, these impositions of the beauty myth is a way to continue enslaved women who are beginning to be emancipated by second wave of feminism. So, That is the end of our discussions about women and sexualizations and how beauty are used against women.
Let's discuss about the beauty of the Western ideal and reclaiming the media. First, let's discuss about the beauty of the Western ideal, the Black Western and White Western people. First, let's discuss about the Black Western people. Caucasian displays and marginalize the people they colonize, who often have a darker skin and darker hair, characteristics of being called colored people, associated with less power. They say that black Western people has a less power than white Western people because of being called the colored people for having a darker skin and darker hair. And they say that black Western people has no privilege to do anything like they treated less fairly in the workplace when applying for a loan or mortgage, in dealing with the police, and when voting in elections. These are the major reasons that black Western people may have a harder time getting ahead than white Western people. Now let's discuss about the white Western people. White Western paradigm, the white person was the superior and therefore made ideal by this oppressive colonial system. Like I said earlier that white Western people has more power than black Western people. They have more privilege to do anything they want. These include cultural affirmations of one's own worth, presumed greater social status, and freedom to move, buy, work, and play, and speak freely. These are effects that can be seen in professional education and personal context. Now, let's talk and discuss reclaiming the media. Women in the media face the same difficulties and threats and experience gender inequalities, safety issues, or underrepresentation. To break the monopoly of the media by companies that present sexualized, objectified women as products, it is necessary to support the campaigns with alternative perspectives on womanhood. We must support the campaign for us to break this monopoly of the media and sexualized harassment. They must conduct a democratic investment that can be dependent communication and equality rights for all women. Empowerment seems to be the way forward. Women should be empowered so that they will be able to tell their own stories. Concretely, equally access and image creation must be provided. In other words, give more women access to mass media. Women should be equally founded in their endeavors to make movies, produce magazines, write books, and create art that speaks of their own experience. Women should be confident to express their own emotions and be empowered for them to create their own image and equally access to the mass media. The situation above described how the past waves feminists presenting alternative ways of being a woman. Alternative voices are needed in presenting womanhood through the mass media. Women were able to redefine their sexuality, their place in society, and kinds of relationship that would fulfill them. It is important as well to have a training programs that will help men, women understand how media is creating a destructive objectification of women. It's very important to train and tell them how to avoid creating destructive objectification. The importance of their training goes for beyond checking of a to-do task. For your employees, a high-quality, comprehensive training programs provides employees a greater understanding of your organization's processes, procedures, and goals. It also enables them with the knowledge and skills they need to be effective of their rules.